the rearrest and detention of Biafra separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian government and moves by the Justice Ministry to include mass murder in the charges preferred against him have been the subject of intense back and forth in the media. Analysts say this interaction is heating up the polity and may indeed end up escalating already worsening security problems. We will now proceed to interrogate this matter a little further with Emmanuel Yaw, spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, a socio-political organization. Good to have you, Mr. Emmanuel. I hope you can hear me.
It's a pleasure. I'm here.
Okay. What's your immediate take? We hear a lot of people cautioning that the handling of this particular rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu should be handled delicately. What would be your recommendation under the current circumstances?
Well, in the first instance, I want to correct the impression that I'm the spokesman of Northern Elders Forum.
Please go ahead.
I speak for AREWA Consultative Forum.
Okay. Point taken.
And not the Northern Elders Forum.
Apologies for that mistake.
Okay. Our first reaction was that Nnamdi Kanu's case should be handled legally within the ambits of the law. The government should not take extra legal measures in handling him because it could spark off more crisis. For now, we don't think the government has gone out of the legal process, and it should continue in that process.
Well, your forum recently released a statement blaming the governors in the northern region for the unrest in the region, the security challenges, saying that the youths have been left or have been abandoned over the years by the governors. Can you speak further to this? Because I want to ask you, those who have criticized this administration's body language towards banditry say they could have done better and are treating the issue with kid gloves. Does your forum also agree with that?
We agree that the security issue has been better handled. But we do not agree that the whole blame should be poured on the federal government. It starts from the state level. First of all, starts from the family. In the north here, some people have children and they just throw them on the streets in the name of Almajiri. The AREWA Consultative Forum is against such treatment, and we believe that insecurity will be better handled if families take care of their children very well. Well, we have too many juvenile children without skills and without jobs in the north. The state governments are also not doing very well in giving these children better education and giving them skills that will make them more useful to society and even more useful to themselves.
Okay.
That is why when our board of trustees met yesterday, they decided that the state governors should be called to order. Okay. Because the situation now is that we are sitting on a time bomb, which will explode at any time in the north and will be more serious than the Boko Haram and the banditry we have seen. Most states in the north, except a few, are not doing well in this aspect.
Okay, so I appreciate that
that is our view.
You're broadening our perspective to include the state actors and even the parents who you say have these children and abandon them. But I just still want to zoom in again on, in particular, an allegation that was made that the reason we're where we are with what you call a ticking time bomb, not just in the north, but all over Nigeria, is because the president isn't managing our diversity very well. I want to get your take on that.
Well, I wouldn't. It's so easy to blame the president. It's so easy to blame the president, but you cannot blame everything on him. When you have a child and you don't take care of that child in the name of Almajiri, you just throw him on the street, and at the end of the day, you come and blame the president, and you think you are innocent. You are not innocent. When state governments do not take care of their citizens, do not create opportunities for employment, some do not even pay their staff. So how do you now turn around and blame the president? The president has his defects, but we should not blame him for everything. We have states in which some ethnic groups are busy fighting themselves. Some ethnic groups fight themselves. Some ethnic groups arrange themselves and go and attack other ethnic groups. So how can you blame the president for not managing our diversity very well? Who is managing our diversity very well anyway?
Sorry just to interject, is when people speak of being marginalized, when people speak of their voices not being heard, when people speak of nepotism, and even now in the Niger Delta, issues of a feeling that they are being neglected, this is where the blame comes from.
Well, I think there are some reasons for that blame. So we in the AREWA Consultative Forum pride ourselves because we admit everybody from the north. What we are trying to do in an AREWA Consultative Forum with the multiplicity of ethnic groups in the north, we admit everybody, every religion. And we are trying to show by example that we can live together. And we urge the president to do the same.
Okay.
He should listen to the cries of those who are complaining of marginalization.
All right. Your forum, rising from that summit yesterday, which you have admitted, says the abandonment of the youth in the north is a ticking time bomb and is responsible for all the insecurity challenges we're seeing from banditry to kidnappings. I want to ask you, does your forum also agree with popular Islamic cleric Sheikh Gumi, who is advocating amnesty for bandits?
No, we don't advocate amnesty. We advocate that those who are bandits, if they arrest citizens of Nigeria and are detaining them illegally, we should discuss with them, but not amnesty. There could be amnesty in special cases where, some of these bandits are themselves victims. Some people were held by force, captured by force, made to be bandits by force, by those who were bandits earlier. They are forced into banditry, they are conscripted into banditry. So if there's a special case like that somebody has proved that, look, I did not join these people, they forced me into this way of life. If we have a case like that, such a person could be given amnesty. But to give mass amnesty for people who have caused so much pain to Nigerians, who have caused so much destruction to our lives and economy and all that, the ACF does not believe in that kind of amnesty. We only believe in negotiating with them, but not amnesty. We are against amnesty, we are against payment of ransom and all that.
With you, I think there's...
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me, sir? I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I said just to flesh it out with you a bit, because even when you speak, I don't mean to hold brief for Sheikh Gumi, but I don't think he was speaking of a mass amnesty. But I want to put it to you that the challenge a lot of people are facing is that so many issues are overlapping. You identified one of them, that some of the bandits are themselves victims. Where do we begin to take the lever or take the pressure off this ticking time bomb, since we have so many issues coming together at the same time?
We can do some state governments. When we condemn state governments in the north, we don't condemn all of them. Some are actually doing well. Some are giving their citizens skills acquisitions, good education, and not just the Almajiri education, which doesn't really help in the modern society. You can combine Almajiri with Western education. But when you say Boko Haram, that means Western education is bad. It should be discarded. But if you go to a state like Kogi, there are many Muslims there. A large percentage of the citizens in Kogi are Muslims. But they combine Western education and Islamic education. There's nothing bad about it. Nothing bad about it. There's so much progress in that state because people are acquiring skills. When you have only Islamic education and you cannot read and write in English or any other civilized way of communication, you are not of use to yourself or to the society. So, for example, we want states in the north to copy what is going on in Kogi, how they've been able to manage that crisis. Because all this crisis, Kogi has about 10 states bordering it. You don't hear of that kind of thing happening in the mass kidnapping, the banditry, the killings, and all that, the religious crisis that's always taking place in the north. You don't hear much of it in Kogi. So we can recommend Kogi for other states to learn why they have been able to contain all these problems.
Okay, you're also recommending a dialogue with other socio-cultural groups in the country, such as the Afenifere and Ohaneze Indigbo, as well as Pandef. What steps have you taken so far as a forum to ensure this takes place?
That invitation came last week, and the response has been very good. Both Afenifere, Ohaneze Indigbo, and Pandef, they have responded very well. For now, we are working out the logistics, the agenda, the logistics, the location, and all other things. It just came last week, so we've not gone far, but we are working very seriously on it, and we are very happy that
What do you hope to achieve with this dialogue with the pan-social cultural groups and organizations, political organizations? What is the end goal here?
You know, we're really disturbed, and we made several statements about what was going on in the country. Since last year, we've been complaining about insecurity. And this got to a stage where people were saying, let us scatter this country, let everybody go its own way, let the country just dissolve. And that was very disturbing. You know, AREWA Consultative Forum, that's why initially I had to clear this in. I speak for AREWA Consultative Forum. We give credit for our existence to General Yakubu Gowon. He's the grand patron of our organization. He fought for the unity of this country. And we have other leaders who have done a lot of great things for this country. Those are the people that make up our board of trustees. It is led by Ambassador Shehu Malami. These are people who have done great things, have risked their lives for the unity of this country. So naturally, when we got to a stage where some people were trying to break up this country, we were worried. We were worried because the people who set up AREWA Consultative Forum gave us a mandate to do all we can to keep this country together. Now, how are we going to run back to them and tell, sirs, we have failed. This country is beyond redemption. We didn't want to do that. That's why we came out with the proposals. Look, if government institutions have failed, if the police have failed, if the army has failed, if the courts have failed, if the political parties have failed, let the people of Nigeria, through their cultural organizations, come together and say, we want this country. Let us not also fail too. So it was in that spirit that we sent our invitation, and they have accepted it. For now, it's just the working out of the logistics. So we think we are reasoning along the same line. Everybody wants Nigeria. Some people may not be happy with Nigeria, but we can still save this country, we believe, the cultural associations.
Some would say your outreach is commendable. But what do you say to cries of, at least the dominant cry, which you hear across the land, for a need for Nigeria to be restructured? You obviously still believe Nigeria can remain one and in peace. How do we remedy issues of growing distrust beyond dialogue?
Well, we hope our dialogue will succeed. That's about the last opportunity we have to save this country. If the cultural associations fail, then this country has a bigger problem than it thinks it has. You see, towards independence in the 50s, the colonial masters took steps to see what Nigeria will look like when it becomes independent. And they held a lot of conferences, beginning from the world, from the local government, from the regions, from all that existed at that time. And the conclusion was that Nigeria was better run as a federal state. Every Nigeria, almost every aspect of our life, every division in our country, all the people, majority of people agree that Nigeria is better run as a federal state. And that is what we had. Okay, I'll soon end up. That is what we had up till 1966, when the military jumped in and seized power and abandoned what the people of Nigeria had agreed on, that look, this country is better run as a federal state. It was the military who brought this kind of system that is not working, that is making everybody complain and ask for restructuring.
But isn't there enough blame to go around? Do you agree that there's enough blame to go around? Your forum is blaming at the moment some governors, or at least governors in the northern region, for the situation there. But when you look at some rhetoric from political, religious, traditional rulers, do you not think that there's enough blame to go around, including the AREWA Consultative Forum, which last week just accused some Southerners of inflaming the country?
No, you see, our fear about, our opinion about this restructuring clamor is that some of the advocates of restructuring are also the loudest advocates that Nigeria should be split, that Nigeria should not exist. So we ask, if Nigeria ceases to exist, which country are you going to restructure? You can only restructure a country if the country exists. But some of those saying restructure are also saying, let's scatter Nigeria. Nigeria is unworkable. So we want a referendum where everybody agrees that we want to be part of Nigeria. It's only then that we can restructure the country.
Okay. Mr. Emmanuel, referendum conversations, thank you very much.